So this video is all about fixing those dome lights that seem to have a mind of their own. Now, my dome lights were acting normal until I changed them to LED, and I think it's probably been doing it because I have probably taken the dome light out of the car too many times. So it's disturbed some things in there. And Jaguar actually have a fix for that, and there is a service bulletin that they actually issued on that issue. And I put a link down to the service bulletin in the description below. So if you want to download it, go to my website, download it, and you can also download all the workshop manuals for these cars as well from our website, and they will actually help you with most of the things that you need to do. So if you guys are often wondering, how do I know how to take all these things apart on this car? It's because I have the workshop manuals. And if you have the workshop manual, they actually show you how to do everything on the car. Now, I'm also covering a few other things in this video as well that were wrong with the car, and that was the grab handle on the passenger side, which wasn't retracting nice and smoothly and slowly. It was just flicking back, and it's just basically broken. The other thing is, when I bought this car, I told you guys about the rattly center speaker grill. Now, the rattle went away, after a while, after driving the car here, and it didn't rattle again until a few days ago. It started rattling again. And my guess is it's something to do with the grill itself on the actual speaker, and I think the grill was touching the speaker. So I've made a few modifications to that, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did there. So this video is action-packed. Let's get started. So here we have a peculiar view of the overhead console. This is one of my favorite trim tools, by the way, to do this kind of job, and it's got a fork on the one side and it's got a flat piece on the other side, and I use the flat piece to get it in there and shimmy this thing out, and it's really the only way you can get it out. And once you can get your hands in there, you can pull it down and we can unplug it. And we can now see what is going on with this light fixture. So I'm just showing you guys here on my computer that Jaguar actually issued a service bulletin on how to repair these overhead lights that just kept on coming on by themselves. And there's the bulletin number over there. And this bulletin is actually on my website. So if you guys want to, you can download it there. And they tell you that these are the parts you need to repair it: C2C33548 wiper cleaner, as well as JLM 21802 grease syringe. Now the grease syringe is actually just copper grease, and that's all you need to fix it really. The actual console itself is that part number there, AMN, that's the beige interior. So there is the AMN canvas. So this is the color of the interior. It's called canvas, and if you look at the bulletin over here, it actually refers to this part number there with AMN color code. So I don't know if it's only the cars that had the beige interior. I mean, comment below, maybe you got one with a black interior and it's also doing this. So we've got the entire dome light console over here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to unclip this piece. This is for your ultrasonic sensors. So we're just going to unplug this green plug, and then you'll see that there's a wire that runs from there, and it runs all the way down here to your microphone. Just pull that out of the black retainer over there. Just pull that out, and I wonder if I can actually just get in there where it plugs in, because we need to actually unplug it. So I'm going to just unplug it using my fingernail. So I've unplugged the mic as well now. And now that we've got everything unplugged, we can take the entire this whole black thing needs to unclip. So I'm going to unclip it from the back, and we just move these tabs. Now, I just want to show you, there's a clip there, there's a clip there, and there's a clip there and a clip there. So what you do, and there are two clips on the front. But what we're going to do is we're going to unclip it at the back, and then we're going to just gently pry it out from the back, okay, lift it up, and we can get this thing out of the way, and then pull it out so that we can get it away from this entire shebang over here. So what we need to do is we actually just need to unclip the circuit board now, so that we can actually get to the contacts, the metal contacts that are making contact with the circuit board. So there is a contact over there, and there's a metal contact down there, and there's another metal contact down there, and those contacts are what connect to the circuit board. And if I can just move this thing out very, very carefully and turn it around, this is what we need to clean. Now don't move it too much, because these little ribbons are very, very brittle. Okay, they don't move very easily, so be very, very careful when turning it this way around. But here are the contacts. There's one over there, and there's one over there, and there's one over there. Now those contacts become dirty, and what we need to do is we need to just clean them off, and we're going to put a little bit of copper grease on them. 1, 2, 3. Now Jaguar's kits say that you need to use some wipes that they supply you in their kit. I actually have a set of wipes that I bought with a screen protector kit for my phone. So I'm just going to use this little wipe and clean them off. It's actually some original copper grease that they must have put on when they actually assembled this little thing. Now that it's clean, I'm going to apply some of the copper grease. All I did is I bought some plain copper grease by Spaniard, and I put some copper grease in a syringe, because Jaguar's kit, their copper grease is actually in a syringe. So they say you must apply 3 to 4 millimeters of it, and it seems a bit much to me. So I'm just going to apply a little dollop there on each one. Now this light here was the one that was faulty, coming on by itself. So there I've applied a dollop on each one, as you can see there. And just try and zoom in. And I'm now going to reassemble it. Now the little circuit board over here is actually pulled out of its place, and I'm just going to get it clipped back in. I don't know how it came out, but it's out. So there we go, it's clipped back in. And now I'm going to clip this thing back in its place. So we just get it clipped in on either side. Make sure that it's nice and sturdy and it's in properly. There we go. So that should hopefully do the trick. And that's really all there is to it. So now we can just reassemble, and we get our black retainer in here as well. Get all our cables out the way so we can get this retainer in there. And what we've got to do is make sure that we clip the front in first, and then we can clip the back in. So we just get it lined up there like that, and then line these two clips over here with their seating position, and you can press them in, and then we just clip it in over there, and then we can plug our microphone back in. And I think the microphone is, yep, the microphone is plugged in, and I just want to clip it back in over there. So we just got to clip the microphone back into its position over there. So that wire is nice and solid, it's not going to move around. And then we want to plug in our ultrasonic sensors like that, and then we just get this ultrasonic sensor box in its place and clip it in nicely as well. And there, everything is back together, and we can now go and put it back on the car. And I'm just going to plug it in and see if the lights are working. Well, we know the center one's working because the doors are open. Okay, those are working fine. So I'm just going to get that lined up and get it back in there. And just check that it's working. Just turn my lights off for now. So the other thing that's been giving me trouble is this speaker grill rattles when I drive. Now remember in my very first video when I told you guys I bought an XFR, I mentioned that there was a rattle coming from this center speaker. What I've done is I've actually made some modifications to the actual speaker grill. I've put some automotive tape around the edge so that it's a nice tight fit, and because I noticed this sponge on the top of the speaker is kind of worn, and it's a pretty hard, a very hard edge actually over there. I think that it might be touching the grill itself, so what I've done is I've actually put some of this automotive sponge around the lip of the ridge of the speaker grill itself that covers the speaker, because this sponge, as you can see there, has gone flat at this particular point over there, and I think that's where the speaker might be touching the grill when I'm driving. And it's not sound related because I can turn up the volume as loud as I want. I mean, this sound system does not even distort when you are playing music at full volume. It just, the Bowers and Wilkins system is fantastic. The rattle is caused more by driving. When you're driving over undulating surfaces, then it starts going, you know, this kind of sounds similar to that, you know. So let's see if this has worked. I won't know until I actually test drive the car again, but I'm going to put the speaker grill back now and we'll see if it works. I'll give you guys feedback in some future videos on that. Right, just get the plug back in for the alarm light, and then feed this wire back into the hole from whence it came. Now, like I said, I don't know if my MacGyver style modification is going to work. It's anybody's guess whether it's actually going to do the trick. Now, getting this thing in again is quite a faff. It's not easy to get it in. Just try and get this side in. I've got the right side in. Okay, got it in. And it's just a case of really pushing it down. We got a nice flush fitting speaker again, and you can see that everything over there is nice and flush again as well. And yeah, like I said, I'll give you guys feedback on that in the future after I've driven the car to see if it takes that rattle away. So the other little job that I have to tackle is this broken grab handle. As you can see, it's not returning nice and smoothly and quietly. It sounds awful actually. Luckily for me, when I had my old XF, I replaced the grab handle on the driver's side with a sunglasses holder, and those of you who have been long-time subscribers of my channel will have seen that video. That was about 4 or 5 years ago, but I kept the grab handle, and luckily for me, the grab handle is the same color. Well, the interior of that car is the same color as the interior of my XFR. So as you can see, it's going to be a perfect match, and this one There's nothing wrong with this one. So, you know, it's this part here that makes it retract and go back nice and smoothly. So in order to get the screws out, all you got to do is you just need to lift these tabs, that one and that one, and you'll expose the screw. Doing this while filming is rather difficult. But anyway, there's our screw there, and that looks like a Torx 20 to me. And let's just expose the one on this side. So I apologize for the bad lighting. I'm in the garage and I'm in the car, so these are pretty tight, but I can just loosen them with my hand. They're definitely T20s, so you know, just for reference, if you want to swap out your grab handle for a salvage one, you know, I mean, what I recommend for things like these, you know, trim items, if they're broken on your car, don't try and get a new one. Try and get a salvage one off eBay from a salvage car, or go to your local salvage yard and see if they have an XF with a, you know, similar trim as your car. This one came off the left side and this one came off the right side. Okay, so you must make sure you put this one back on the left side and this one back on the right hand side. It's going to be a perfect fit. I'm first going to put the long one in, because this one here is going to keep making the grab handle want to move up, so it's going to be difficult to get the left hand side in. So what I recommend is you rather just do the one on the one that isn't under tension. Do that one first, make it nice and tight, and then we can do the other one on this side. There we go. It's a very quick job, very simple job to do, and you just clip these things back in place, and there we go. We've now got a handle that retracts nice and slowly. So there we go, 3 things done to the car that have improved it, I think, I hope. And the only way that I'm going to know is if I actually drive the car, and I'm going to take it out on a little drive around our estate and just see if that speaker grill is still rattling, and whether that dome light's still coming on by itself. Because it acts up pretty much as soon as you start driving, it starts acting up. But let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, well then I'll have to just have Jaguar have a look at it and tell me what they think. But for now, the light is behaving itself. With the car stationary and the ignition on, it's not coming on. So that is a very good sign. You know, it's not very difficult to take the dome light out, and it's also not very difficult to take it apart, as you saw in the video. Just follow the instructions on the bulletin as well, and now you at least have a video on how to actually unclip all the little components that you need to unclip in order to do it. But you can do this yourself, and I'll keep you guys updated on the speaker grill rattle, whether it's still rattling, as well as whether the dome light's coming on or not. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Cheers.